Hello, happy Monday, and welcome to Meeting of the Minds Mondays. Our topic for this month is the difficulty of discipline. Now, we're going to jump right in after these few announcements. I'm going to share this out to a few people. All right, so let me just share this out really quickly. All right, so just a couple of announcements before we start. Showcase Your Talent Show is 2 days away, y'all. Two, right? We are booked to capacity. So if you would like to register, you can register for next month because we are booked for this month, okay? All right, so our Juneteenth edition of our showcase will be this Wednesday from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom, right? Now, if you want to register for our next month, we have contestant spots where you get to compete for a grand prize. And we have feature spots if you just want to showcase your talent without participating in the competition. We have sponsor spots if you are someone who has a product, service, or business and you want to share that during the live. Definitely sign up for that. And there's also an open mic segment for anybody who would like to participate and share their art during this show. All right, and of course viewers are always welcome. All of that information, Zoom details and everything will be posted tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. We also have, of course, Meeting of the Minds Mondays, one Monday a month where we focus on anything from art to self to business and everywhere in between. If you have any topics that you would like us to discuss that we have not, definitely check out our previous lives. Check out the previous topics on our page. Go to our series options to see if there's anything that we've discussed. And if there's anything that you want to see discussed on here, or if you want to host our Meeting of the Minds, definitely connect with us so that we can add your topic on to the queue because we're here to serve you. We also have our Q&A Wednesday, which will be this coming Wednesday as well. I know we got a packed week this week, y'all. But yes, we have our Q&A Wednesday, and we got some good stuff. We got some good stuff, y'all. So our question for this month is, what is the difference between a vision and a dream? So that'll be interesting, right? And we would love to hear your feedback. And of course, when it comes to Q&A Wednesdays, that is your chance to also ask anything that you would like, anything that you have any questions about that you would like us to answer. That is the time. You can either submit your questions ahead of time, or you can ask them during the live, either in the question box or in the comment section, and we will get it. Okay, and you will be amazed at what you can. And there is also Fridays. We have it in 3 segments. So we have our open mics pretty much every Friday that we have something going on, and we have our battle art second Fridays where you as an artist go against other artists, and whoever wins based on the viewers voting, that person will win some funds, and they will also pick the following month's theme. We are still on hero versus villain. Since we did not come up with a winner for this month, next month we will find a winner regardless. And if we don't, whoever had the most interaction and votes based off of the last few months, that will be the winner, and we will pick our next month's theme. All right, so stay tuned for that for next month. We also have third Fridays, Art of War, Art Awareness Fundraiser, where we build awareness for the beauty, necessity, and uniqueness of art, as well as raise funds so that we can come to a place near you. To go from virtual to in-person mini concerts is definitely something that's been a blessing, to be able just to see art and the beauty of it based on your culture, your background, where you're from, how it looks, how it sounds different, and how it's still beautiful regardless, right? So you don't have to wait for third Fridays to donate, right? You could donate at any point, at any time, okay? So you could click our link in the bio. You can email us. You can DM us. You can go to our website at intellects.com and find different ways to donate that way. There are many different ways, all right? Then we also have Fourth Fridays as our feature segments where we spotlight an entrepreneur doing their thing in the community. Our feature segment will be back next month since everything had to be pushed back this month. We kind of working our way around it. But honestly, whenever somebody comes on here, they are being spotlighted. So in a way, we still did have our feature for this month, right? But we got y'all. We haven't forgotten about y'all. We have our podcast, Intellects, a Place for Entrepreneurs, in season 3. Our last episode just dropped yesterday. Make sure y'all check that out on our YouTube channel and on Spotify, Anchor, Apple, and so many other platforms. Check that out because we are talking about creating multiple streams of income. All right, so stay tuned for that. If you are interested in being a feature for our podcast, you can either email or DM us and we will connect with you that way. We also have books, we have merch, we have promo options, voiceover options, member fees. We have our art and business seminar, another one coming soon. Check out our previous ones on YouTube. But if you want to stay up to date on all things Intellects, definitely subscribe to our email list. It is free $99. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel where all of our content goes as well. All right, that's enough for the announcements. We are going to jump into this topic, the difficulty of discipline. So, for those of you just tuning in, welcome. And I would like to hear from y'all. What do you think is the difficulty factor when it comes to discipline, right? Because when we look at a lot of people, when we look at people who live disciplined lives, it is very, it looks nice, right? It's like, oh, they doing their thing to make it look easy. Wow, I like the structure, I like all that. But when it comes to us living disciplined lives for ourselves, it's not as easy, right? I've been around, sis. I've been around. I've been busy though, but I've been around trying to stay on here, but schedule has to be revamped so that I can fit everything in. But I'm doing all right. How you been though? But yes, when it comes to discipline, it's something that we all need. But just like when it comes to eating healthy, some stuff that's healthy is not necessarily stuff that we want to actually eat. So, when you think about it that way, it's like, even though it's good for you, you might not want to do it, but discipline is good for us, right? So we're going to jump into this and we're going to talk about the difficulty of discipline, why we struggle with discipline, right? So we're going to hear from Lynette on why we struggle with discipline.
We always want the best for ourselves because we love ourselves. And it can be hard to truly feel like that sometimes because society teaches you that if you're not doing this, then you're not doing enough. Or if you're not making this much money, then you're not good enough here. Or if you don't wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, then you can't possibly be successful and be rich. It's not true. None of it is true. You can really truly make the rules of your own reality because you are living in your own world. There is so much power in you deciding what rules work the best for you. I feel like the years 2020 to 2022 were very deep heavy, transformative years for a lot of us. There's been a huge collective awakening that's been happening. A lot has been revealed to us. A lot of us are discovering more of what we want out of life, more of what our divine purpose is outside of the programming of society and what other people have taught us we should want and think and believe. And I feel like more than anything, it's really showed us what is no longer serving us, what people, what thought patterns and habits, what institutions maybe, like your job or maybe even school, what things are no longer serving you on your divine plan and your unique path to becoming, again, who it is that you feel you should actually be. And 2023, I think, is a year where we are finally putting those lessons into practice. How can you physically change your reality? What can you do in your day-to-day life to make your reality more aligned to the reality that you are dreaming of? That's what I think a lot of us are being tasked with. And we've done that, right? We've done a little bit of that work in the past few years, but I think 2023 is really the year that we stop making excuses. We stop sitting around and thinking about what it is that we don't want. And we really start focusing on what we do want. We really start focusing on what it is that is serving us, how we can attract abundance into our lives, and what work we need to do in order to get there. And I really want to speak in this video specifically about some ways that you can do this, some ways that at least I am putting that into practice. And before we get too far into the video, I do want to say, I know it's a new year and I know there's 1,000,001 videos out there right now about how to be productive and how to be your best self and how to take action right now. And maybe you don't feel that motivated or that inspired right this second, and that's totally okay. I know I didn't the day the new year came, but someone actually commented this on my channel and it was really helpful for me. And that was reminding me that we don't have to subscribe to what society is telling us. Just because it's a new year, just because the calendar marks a shift in our energies and a transition, yes, that is happening, but that doesn't mean that it's happening right away. We're still in the winter season. We're still in this season of rest, of hibernation, of going inward and really looking at ourselves and our homes, right? Being inside a lot more. And spring is a lot of times that season for us to blossom and to bloom and to put more things into action and start doing more things. I really encourage you to not look at what other people are telling you you should be doing and really following the guidance of your inner system. You know yourself better than anyone else. You know yourself better than I know you. So really, truly trust yourself and trust your own divine timing as you're kind of keeping these things in mind, because maybe you're feeling ready and motivated to implement discipline and structure and all that stuff and change right now, but maybe you're not. And that's okay either way. I know for me, I'm kind of like taking my time, slowly but surely easing into this new reality, but it's not going to be an automatic switch. It's just not how life works. So anyways, first thing I think it's really important to keep in mind this year is that discipline is self-love.
The ancient Egyptians understood that.
This is something that I really struggled with, and something that if y'all have been following me for a while, y'all know. As I entered into my soft girl feminine era, I was like, let's just chill, let's just vibe. I'm over society and the 3D. I don't want to follow any of the rules, and I just want to go at my own pace. As I kind of fell deeper and deeper into that, I started to realize that there's actually a lot of power in having discipline. I think the key to this is doing things out of love instead of doing them out of shame. Whatever good habits you want to start implementing, whatever bad habits you want to get rid of, you're doing these things because you love yourself, not because you're in trouble, not because you're a bad person or you've been a bad person or you've been doing a bad job. We always want the best for ourselves because we love ourselves. And it can be hard to truly feel like that sometimes because society teaches you that if you're not doing this, then you're not doing enough. Or if you're not making this much money, then you're not good enough here. Or if you don't wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, then you can't possibly be successful and be rich. It's not true. None of it is true. You can really truly make the rules of your own reality because you are living in your own world. There is so much power in you deciding what rules work the best for you. So for example, if you're the kind of person who's on TikTok right before they go to sleep and you're recognizing that that is no longer serving you, it can be hard to let that go, and it can feel like a lot of pressure that like, oh my gosh, it's 10 p.m. right now and I'm still scrolling through TikTok. What is wrong with me? And then you feel this shame, and then you feel this guilt, and then you're mad at yourself. When you're coming from that place of fear and anger of, oh no, I did something wrong, so I need to change, it's not going to help you. But when you start shifting your perspective and realizing that, oh, I'm putting my phone away because I honor myself and I love myself, and I want to give my mind that time to settle down and to relax and to not have other people in my ear and in my subconscious mind before I fall asleep or right when I wake up. Even when you start recognizing that you're doing these things to protect yourself in the same way you would protect a little girl or a little kid who doesn't know any better when they go about doing things that are not healthy for them, when you start having that loving perspective for yourself, discipline and healthy habits become a lot easier because you realize you're doing these things out of love instead of out of shame. So as you're starting to plan and look at, what habits you want to start implementing and what habits you want to get rid of for this new year, I really encourage you to start looking at it from a healthy perspective. And when you find yourself getting into a negative cycle or a negative way of thinking about them, take a step back, go within and really ask yourself what it is that you truly want out of life. What do you want your reality to look like? Recognize that you deserve to have that reality, right? And these habits that you're going to be implementing are for you to get closer to that reality that you already deserve. Also, I think it's really important to recognize that it's not going to be an overnight thing. As you start kind of trying to implement new things, new habits, you are not going to be an overnight success. Manifesting whatever it is that you want out of life, whether that be just more money, you quitting your job, you traveling somewhere, whatever it is that you want, it's a journey. And I talk about this a lot on my channel, but oftentimes we get so focused on the outcome, the results that we want, that end goal, that we take ourselves out of the present and we stop enjoying the journey. But in reality, the whole point of this life is to enjoy the journey of getting anywhere that you want to get. So you are not going to be an overnight success with anything that you are trying to implement, because that's not the point. It wouldn't be fun if you were. It wouldn't be fun if you woke up tomorrow and you had nothing that you needed to change, nothing that you needed to improve, and you were just, life was perfect. It would not be fun anymore. There would be no point in living because you've had it all and there's nothing else to learn. So even thinking about like a healing journey and trying to be your best self spiritually, mentally, that is not going to ever have an end goal. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly growing spiritually. So stop focusing so much on an end goal. Yes, have goals. Don't get me wrong. Have goals. Have things that you're working towards. But don't focus so much on the end result. I say it all the time. Focus on the journey and do not obsess over being an overnight success. And do not obsess over being perfect right away, because you're going to get frustrated with yourself. You're going to burn yourself out, and you're going to be a month into the new year and you're going to feel like giving up. And that's not the way that you want to approach your goals. I really encourage you this year, focus on making small changes, doing small things, small adjustments to your habits and to your routines until you start to feel more in flow with everything. I'm reading this book right now called Atomic Habits. Highly recommend it. And he basically talks about this, whenever you're trying to make any kind of change in your life, it's not really about making this one big grand gesture and suddenly again your life is just completely different when you wake up the next day. It's really about making small changes every single day. And as you make more and more small changes, as you adjust maybe your morning routine a little bit every single day, the small things that you start doing become more automatic, and that's when you start to add more changes in your life. It's not just about becoming, again, an overnight success, suddenly, posting one time on YouTube and hoping that your channel is just going to pop off, right? That is an amazing hope and dream to have, but it's not just about that, right? It's about figuring out how you can build a system so that you can be consistent and so you can build on it more and more instead of trying to focus, again, on this overnight change.
I'm not as big.
Change. So I really encourage you, if you haven't already, start taking an inventory of your habits and your current systems and start figuring out what little adjustments you can make to, again, further shift into the reality that you want to align to. So I think the winter is the perfect time to do this. I did this a lot in December, and I feel like I'm still doing this quite a bit right now, where I'm really just sitting with myself, spending a lot of time alone, to be honest, and really just asking myself what it is that I want in this next year. Again, what do I need to walk away from? What is no longer serving me? But also, what do I need to start doing to embody who it is that I want to be, and also who do I want to be? A lot of times I feel like we think that we need to have everything figured out, all of our goals, all of our plans for the next year as soon as the new year comes. But you may find, as you sit with yourself a little bit more, again, go into meditation, journal, pray, do whatever works best for you, you may start to feel yourself being called to different things that you weren't normally called to before. So really pay attention, really listen to, again, your inner guidance system. Pay attention to what's going on in your daily life, what synchronicities you're noticing. And again, you may start to find that there's a path for you that you feel really called to. Once you start doing that more and more, you may start to find yourself being called to write this down, to take notes, to maybe make a vision board. A vision board is a really great way to kind of put that visualization into like the actual 3D material world. And then from there, I really just like to plan out everything. I break down my goals through like yearly, monthly, weekly, and then even daily to-dos. So I timeline my entire year, I break it down into quarters, and then I really just list out in each quarter what are the major things happening and placing your goals in that timeline. So you maybe have a goal of starting a YouTube channel, and that's awesome, but don't just say that you have a goal of starting a YouTube channel in 2023. Have that in your timeline. Know that you want to start your YouTube channel by March of 2023. I just think having a timeline is a really good way to shift your goals from these like ambiguous things in this list to an actual timeline that you can build an action plan around. And then you can kind of shrink things down to your monthly goals. I like to get really specific with these things. So I have like my work goals, but I also have like my spiritual and my body goals. How much time do I want to dedicate to learning a certain topic every single month? What are those topics? How am I going to do that? And then also, how am I going to break that down week by week? And then you can also break that down day by day. I think it's just really important as you're doing this to focus on systems and not just goals. So as you're planning out your month, what can you do week to week and also day to day to further align yourself to who it is that you want to be? Don't focus again so much on that end goal, and focus more on aligning your current self to your future dream self. So for example, for me, one of my major goals for 2023 is learning more about investing and real estate investing specifically. I want to build more passive income. I want to build my wealth, and I just really want to learn more about how to do that. So I'm really trying to make a plan of like, okay, how can I do that day to day? Like at least for like 30 minutes to an hour in the morning. And one platform that I've been using to do this is called Arrived, and I want to plug them really quickly because they are the sponsor of today's video. Shout out to them. Arrived, if you guys have never heard of them, is a real estate crowdfunding platform that actually makes it really easy to get into real estate investing with as little as $100. So you go on the platform and they actually have properties that they have hand selected and done a lot of research on that you yourself can invest in with other people and start making returns on. And obviously, real estate is one of those things that takes a while to kind of get into if you are interested in buying your own home or investing in it. But Arrived is amazing because it makes it very accessible to invest in real estate. And just to learn more about the industry, they actually have a whole section on their website where you can learn more about real estate investing, and learn more about how to kind of make more money off of their website. I'm going to leave my link to them down below if you guys want to check them out. I just want to shout them out because I just think it's an amazing new platform that I've kind of been getting into, and I know that a lot of us have goals of building passive income and again growing our wealth in 2023. So I think Arrived is an amazing way to do that. And yeah, shout out to them again for sponsoring today's video. Again, I know that 2023 there is so much for us to accomplish and to do, but I just really encourage you to again first look within, honor yourself, spend these next few weeks, these next few months, this season, or spend whatever time you need honestly to really go within and make sure that you know what it is that you want to be doing. Don't focus so much on what other people are doing. Don't focus on what society is telling you. Listen to yourself, listen to your spirit, and really take that time to go inward so you know where it is that you're being guided to go in 2023. So hopefully this was helpful, you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are doing well and having an amazing start to your new year. Let me know in the comments down below, what are you really focused on in this current season to better yourself and to again further align your reality to where it is that you want to be. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
All right, y'all. That was the first clip. And again, that was Lynette. And she focused on why we struggle with discipline. Now, from what I gathered on her video, is basically we struggle because we try to take it all in at one time instead of breaking it down into realistic ideas, realistic options, right? So thinking about the things that no longer serve you and separating those from the things that still do to kind of lighten your load and ease your plate a little bit, right? Because sometimes we carry that extra weight that's not doing anything but weighing us down that we need to let go of. So one thing that she asked was, how can you change your reality? And this is a simple question. And if you were to take a week and really map out what you do with your time, there are things that you could change if you just see it. A lot of us are visual people. We are visual learners. We like to see things, right? If you were to map out a week of your daily schedule for 7 days, you can see within those 7 days times that could be changed, things that could be uprooted, things that can, that took too much time that could be shortened. You getting up a half an hour earlier, you going to bed maybe a half an hour later, or going to bed earlier. However it works for you, there are things that you can do practically to become more disciplined, right? So she was saying some people may be ready, some people may not be, but just really sit with that and accept that part of your journey, and really give yourself the grace to make mistakes. Give yourself the grace to mess up sometimes, because things are going to happen. And when it happens, don't push yourself, or don't put yourself down in a deeper hole. Don't let it go. Don't spiral down once you get to doing something that you didn't think would happen, or if you failed at it, or if you started the whole process and then you messed up. Give yourself the grace to mess up, right? Because we all have those moments where we get little setbacks, but are you going to stay there, or are you going to keep going, right? She said discipline is self-love. Doing things because you love yourself is definitely key, right? Making sure that you want the best for yourself because you love yourself, and knowing what those habits look like that you want to change, that you want to keep going, that will make you more disciplined. Look at what you do. Look at how you spend your time. Look at who you spend your time with. What do you listen to? What are you digesting on a daily basis? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, socially. Like, what does your appetite, what does your feed look like? All of these things matter, because every little bit adds up after a while. And it might not seem like a lot for a day, but if you add that up every single day, every single month, for a year, it's going to be a lot more than you think, right? So, and it's not an overnight process. When you are in the process of changing something, and you're in the process of becoming more disciplined, it is going to take time. People who are very disciplined, it took them some time to get to that point. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. And something that Lynette said was that if we had everything right then and there, it wouldn't be anything to look forward to, because you're already working towards a whole bunch of stuff, right? You've already accomplished it. There's nothing to look forward to. So us being on the journey is a blessing, because there's something that we are looking forward to, something that we're working towards. We don't have it all together. We haven't learned everything. It's a process. So be aware of that process, and knowing that it's not overnight, but enjoy it, because as Kobe says, the journey is the dream. Okay? It's not the destination, it's the journey. That's the dream. Focus on making small changes. So I think the problem with why so many of us struggle with discipline is because we're focused on this long, drawn out process of, I have to do this, and it seems overwhelming. And a lot of us, when we're overwhelmed, we tend not to do anything. When it comes to, I have a goal to do this, that, and the third, and because it might seem like it's too much, we don't do anything, just because of the overwhelming feeling that happens when you think about everything that you have to do. But when you break it up into small steps and make it realistic, to where it's like, okay, I want to make $100,000 a year. Well, how much is that a month? That's like 8,333 or something like that a month. Well, how much is that a day? That's between 200 and 300 a day. So if you look at it based off of the day rather than the year or even the month, it seems like it's more attainable. So she focused on the book that she's reading called Atomic Habits. I hear it's a good book. She co-signed that it was a good book. So if you are interested and you are a book reader, that can be something that you can look up to see how you can make better decisions and how you can create healthier habits in all aspects of life. She said to build a system. Systems are what run the world. McDonald's has a system. Chick-fil-A has a system. Walmart has a system. Target has a system. Every place that you go that is successful, they have systems. Their projects and their buildings and their service is built on a system. And when you have a productive and a successful system, you have a successful business, regardless of what it is. So instead of focusing on other things, focus on how to have a great system, right? Inventory your habits and your systems. So categorize it, right? Make it into different things and prioritize the needs over the wants, which is very important when you prioritize, because when you don't prioritize your needs over your wants, you tend to do things that you might want, but then you miss out on your needs, and that's no good for you, because then there's going to be an imbalance. We're trying to be balanced over here, right? Break down your goals into quarters. So instead of thinking about what you want for the whole year, focus on what can I do within 3 months? What can I do within 1 month or 2 months, a couple weeks? You could break it down to daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, yearly goals, and then check in every couple of months to see how far you are on your journey. But you have to be disciplined enough to keep up with those goals that you write down, and not just say I'm going to do this and then not have any action behind it. Because a goal without action is just a wish or a dream, right? You have to do some work to get to what you want. There's nothing in this world that you will get that doesn't require work, okay? And if you didn't have to work to get it, you have to work to keep it, regardless of what it is, right? So, we're not getting away from work in this lifetime. Sorry to say, but yes, and even once you get successful, when you get to that place where it's like, this is where I wanted to be, you got to work to stay there. And if you want to elevate, you got to work to elevate. But, work is work, right? So, yes, have a timeline. Separate your goals by the categories. So if it's a spiritual goal, a body goal, mental goal, emotional goal, social goal, familial goal, like whatever that goal is, separate it by the categories. Give it a time frame, because if you put a goal out there and you don't have a deadline for it, you're going to drag your feet. So make sure you put that time stamp on there, because that's important, right? That is important. Also, focus again on systems, not just on goals. And she talked about an app called Arrived, where it's a way to invest. So if you are interested in looking for different ways to create income for yourself, that is an option for you. And also to listen to your spirit, just to allow something to resonate within you so that you know that's the right decision that you make, because anybody can give you any advice, but if it's not something that you resonate with yourself, then it's not going to work for you. All right. So life is hard, right? Life is hard. There's nothing more powerful. But everything about life is a decision, right? It is a decision. So you choose your hard. And we're going to hear from Marcus on choosing your hard. Yep. All right. And if y'all have any questions or comments, y'all want to share anything, y'all can put it in the comment section, because I'd love to hear what you got to say. All right.
People tell me all the time, it's hard to get wealthy. It's hard to grind. It's hard to be focused. How do you even do these speeches? It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to stay broke. It's hard to stay depressed. It's hard to stay governed by anxiety. It's hard to be inconsistent. It's hard not to have daily disciplines. It's hard not to believe in yourself. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be poor. It's hard. It's all hard. So choose your heart. You either go work for it, you're going to sit there and let life knock you down and dare you to get back up. It's hard to practice perseverance. It's hard to practice compassion and forgiveness. It's hard to set personal goals. It's hard to take care of yourself. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to live in bitterness and unforgiveness. It's difficult to be jealous of somebody. It's hard to let yourself go. It can be difficult to lay your life down and humble yourself and rid yourself of the disease of ego, pride, and comparison and competition. It's difficult. It's hard to be creative. It's hard to be an introvert. It's hard to be an extrovert. Singleness can be difficult. Marriage can be difficult. Raising your children on your own can be difficult. It's hard to wake up early. It's hard to wake up late. But there's a reward on the other side of waking up early. If you wake up late, you've lost too much daylight. What somebody else did before you woke up, now you only have a fraction of the day to get it done. There's a reward on the other side of one pain, and there is regret on the other side of the other pain. And if you're going to win the reward, you're going to have to persevere. You're going to need endurance. You're going to need to be consistent. And on the other end of the pendulum, there is the pain of regret, where you did nothing because you were afraid you would make a mistake. The pain of regret will hurt you. So choose your heart. Make a decision. I want the pain of finishing something. I want the pain of persevering. Give me the pain of forgiving my haters. Give me the pain of forgiving people that tried to kill me. Give me the pain of letting it go. Give me the pain of growth. Give me the pain of acquiring new skill sets and talents. Give me the pain of managing my time well. Give me the pain of waking up early. Give me the pain of praying when I didn't feel like it. Forgiving when I didn't feel like it. Letting go. Give me the pain. I'll take that pain because on the other side of that pain, there is a reward. Every single day of my life, I'll take reward over regrets. Will you keep sleeping on your potential, or will you wake up and make it happen? Choose your pain today. The anguish, the irritation, the frustration that you feel today will be your strength to leap walls tomorrow, to leap hurdles tomorrow, to champion the day tomorrow. So you got to turn your pain into progress. You got to learn how to turn your pain into power.
It's still more. Y'all thought it was done. It's still more.
Consider this your wake-up call. What most people fail to realize is that pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. There is no path in life without pain. Whatever it is that you're going after, whoever it is that you've been destined to become, you cannot have it. You will not become it without pain. You will face challenges and difficulties and giants, regardless if you are single, if you are married, if you are a stay-at-home mom, a stay-at-home father, if you are an entrepreneur, if you're working a 9-to-5, if you're an educator, if you are an athlete, if you are a musician, a singer, a producer, it doesn't matter who you are, what you are doing, pain is inevitable. If if I'm going to hurt like this, if I'm going to bleed like this, if I'm going to cry like this, let me cry because I'm in the best shape of my life. Let me cry because I'm conditioned to weather the uphill war. Let me cry because I'm building my relationship. I'm building my business. I'm building my legacy. Let me cry because it hurt, but there is a reward on the other end of my pain. Let me cry tears because I passed the test, because I gave it everything I had. Choose your heart. Everything in life comes with hardship. Make a decision. At some juncture, you will encounter pain. And the moment that you get acquainted with pain, you get acquainted with hardship, you realize that no matter what you do, no matter how much you study, no matter how much you plan, you will not be able to avoid a measure of pain. I don't care what it is, losing weight, I don't care what it is, a new eating paradigm, a new relationship paradigm, new thoughts, new behaviors. It doesn't matter what you're after, what you're looking to become. If you don't go to the gym, it's gonna hurt you. If you go to the gym, it's gonna hurt you. Your muscles are gonna tear. But on the other side of that pain, there is a reward. There isn't any regret. You won't regret taking care of your body. On the other side of making those healthy decisions, there is a reward. It's the reward of discipline. It's the reward of longevity. It's the reward of influence. It's the reward of power. Do you want results? Do you want a reward? Or do you want regrets? The decision is yours. It's all hard, so choose your heart. Pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. Pick your pain. Everybody's got a plan until life knocks them out, because we weren't ready for the pain. And when the pain came, we did not process it. Processing pain is a skill set you've got to acquire. It's a type of currency. If you want the future, if you want next level, if you want tomorrow, if you want to manifest, if you want this thing, I don't care what it is, then you're going to have to get acquainted with pain. The pain of discipline, the pain of growth, the pain of learning, the pain of giving, the pain of forgiving. It all hurts. So pick your pain. Choose your heart. Because at some juncture in life, at some corner you're going to turn, you are going to encounter pain. And you've got to process that pain well. Hear me when I say it. Pain is unavoidable. It's hard to let go of the past. It's hard to give sometimes of your time, your talent, and your treasure. It's hard to balance work life. It's hard to acquire new skills. It's hard to be stagnant. It's hard to be a workhorse. It's hard to be lazy. It's hard to learn how to manage and cultivate relationships. It's hard to learn from your experiences. It's hard to turn your mess into your message. It's all hard. It's hard to hold on. It's hard to let go. But there's a reward on the other end of many of these hardships. You've got to choose reward or regret. There is always reward and regret attached to every decision that you make. Hope. Hold on. Pain ends. Pain does have an expiration date. And when that pain ends, another one will surface, but you will be strong enough because you endured the current pain well. Everybody wants resurrection, but nobody wants the pain of dying to themselves. There's a pain that hurts you, and there's a pain that changes you. So today, all I want you to do is make a decision to choose your heart.
All right, y'all. That was Marcus. He sounds a lot like Eric Thomas, doesn't he? I always get them mixed up whenever I hear him. But Marcus Taylor, y'all. And that was him. And he talked about choosing your heart, right? Life is hard. It's hard to be lazy. It's hard to be disciplined. It's hard to have daily discipline. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be rich or to be wealthy. It's hard to practice perseverance, to practice compassion, to set personal goals. It's hard to live in bitterness and unforgiveness. It's difficult to get to a point where you let your life, dwindle down to less than what you were doing before, to backtrack. All of this is hard, but there's a reward for some of those hards, right? You either pick reward or you pick regret. And it's really up to us. It's our choice whether or not we are going to walk in the hardship of discipline or walk in the hardship of regretting not being disciplined, right? Pain is inevitable and it's unavoidable. Regardless of what path we choose, there is going to be pain, Every path has pain in it, right? And he asks, will you step into your potential? Like, will you do it, right? Are you willing to go through the pain to get to the other side of that pain? Because like he said, pain has an expiration date. It ends. To keep going, to endure, because on the other side of that pain, you're going to get those rewards. So you have to make a decision. And once you get acquainted with pain, you can adapt to it and you can get acquainted with that hardship. Processing pain, like you said, is a skill set. And the pain that hurts you is that pain that changes you. And it can change you for the better, but it all depends on how you look at it, how you feel about it, like your outlook on it, your mindset regarding it. Because regardless of what you do with yourself, what you do with your life, how you look at life determines how you live your life. And if your mindset or your outlook is negative, life is going to seem negative. If it's positive, it's going to seem positive. If it's ups and downs, but you make the best of it, that's how you are going to live it. Because if you're always focused on, oh, woe is me, everything's always happening to me, I can't catch a break, this is happening, that's happening, you attract that. You're feeding off of that, and that attraction is just growing because you're feeding off of it. And whatever you feed grows, right? So try not to feed on that negativity. Just know that everything works for its purpose. Pain has a purpose, just like pleasure has a purpose, but it all works together, and you need both to have that balance. And so, once you are acquainted with the pain, when you go through something else, you'll be better able to handle it after that fact. All right. And so we are going to move right along to our next video, which is talking about how discipline is freedom. All right. Do y'all think discipline is freedom? How accepting are you of freedom? How accepting of you are how accepting are you when it comes to discipline? Are you willing to be let out of your comfort zone? Are you willing to do the hard thing, to go the extra mile, to do what is not attractive or popular, or what goes against every fiber of your being, so that you can be better? Like, we were talking about earlier, David Goggins, he is an example. Who Hurt Me, his one book, am I saying that right? I believe I said that right. or Can't Hurt Me. There it is. His one book, Can't Hurt Me. Then he has another one. What's that? I know Finish is in the title, but either way, he shares his story on how he went through a lot, and he put himself through a lot because of the fact that he wanted better for himself. Never finishes the other book. Can't Hurt Me and never finished, right? And I happen to have both books, and it really, really just goes to show, like, your pain tolerance. Like with David Goggins, he ran hundreds of miles, untrained, broken bones, dehydrated, wasn't fueling up with the right things, and he had to be hospitalized. He was damn near dead, but he pushed himself to that point because he wanted to prove to himself that he could do it, and he did it, right? So don't limit yourself based off of what you think you're capable of, because you're capable of so much more. And discipline is easy. It becomes easier when you do it more often. It's not easy. Not at all. But it becomes easier when you do it. It's like when you go to the gym and you work out, that first day, it's a hard workout. But 30 days in, those same weights you lifting, that same workout you did on day one seems a lot easier. But it's still the same amount of work. You just have gone through the process of enduring a little bit better. So just think of it like that. All right, but we're going to get into this next video, y'all. We're going to get into it. I hope y'all getting something from this. The difficulty of discipline. It's necessary, but it is going to be difficult. And everything in life is difficult. You just got to choose what that difficulty factor is for you. Right? I want to know your thoughts. Y'all can share it in the comments.
Woohoo! Yeehaw, cowboy! I love country music. Damn! The reason I put this together is because most of you will be at a point in your lives where you know what you need to do. The problem is you can't make yourself do it. You have no discipline. So whenever you want to go to the gym, you go for a couple of weeks, and then after that you fall off and you go back to your old habits. Now, the reason why is because you're not using your discipline muscle enough. You're not building it in your brain. And with technology that we've got nowadays, we're all based off this instant gratification lifestyle. So we need to strip that away. We need to give you a challenge that's going to progressively allow you to build discipline over the next 30 days. And that's the reason I've put this program together. So anyone who's struggling with self-discipline right now, you can't get yourself to do the things you need to do. This is how we're going to fix it. So first, what is discipline? It's the ability to control your emotions, your actions, your thoughts, even in difficult situations. So when you want to reach for the burger, when you want to reach for the drinks, when you want to reach for the cigarettes, you don't do it. Discipline is number one. You can have everything you've ever wanted in your entire life, but only if you have the discipline to work towards it. So let's start building this discipline up, and I'm going to run you through the rules of this challenge. If you miss one task from the daily discipline list, you have to go back to day one. No one's going to know. I'm not going to know. You can try and fool me. That's fine. You're only be harming yourself. You're only fooling yourself. So if you found it very, very hard to stick to things, this is the moment it changes. This is the moment we're going to turn things around, and you are going to be a person that can stick to something for 30 days non-stop, okay? And you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for me. You're doing it so your life gets better. So don't lie to yourself. There's nothing wrong with failing. I tried to do 75 hard before, failed, went back to the beginning. If you fail, it's fine. Just start again. If you're dishonest, shame on you. It's big shame. You'll be shamed for eternity. Gorillas at the zoo will hurl shit in your general direction. You will be banished from the kingdom. So don't lie. All right? First rule. Read 10 pages daily of a self-development book. This is because if you're a young man between 18 and 24, you probably don't have access to the amazing minds that are going to influence you in a positive way. You don't have the money or the resources or the network to speak to these individuals. If you do want to speak to these individuals and you have got the money, then I recommend you get a mentor straight away. It's like the number one thing you can do is speak to somebody that's done it before. If you want me to be your mentor, check it out in the link in the description. One-to-one mentoring with me. I'll run you through this whole thing. But most likely, you don't have the funds. So you need to read a self-development book written by somebody of this stature every single day, because you're getting that wisdom. You're getting that wisdom pretty much for free, for $5, $10, $15 for a book. You're getting world-class information every day. It gives you hope. I would recommend this book. Still got it with me to this day. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. I read it a year ago. What this does is breaks down your mental thought patterns, the way that we think as men, how to control your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, and just understand yourself better, change the way that you think, and awaken the beast, the giant that lives in every one of us, the person inside of you that is impressive, that's talented. It's a state of mind. So I'd recommend Awaken the Giant Within. if you're doing this challenge and you haven't read it before. If you have read it, choose another self-development book. You need that new information every day from a world-class mentor to give you the hope. Second rule, you must exercise daily for at least 30 minutes. Walk, yoga, run, swim, football, hockey, Zumba. Shout out mum, Zumba instructor. You can do any of these 30 minutes a day. If you're currently on a gym program, like for me, for example, I go to the gym 5 days a week, about an hour and a half sessions. For those 5 days of the week, I've obviously already done my 30 minutes of fitness, so I don't need to do anything more on those days. On my 2 rest days, I would be required now, rather than just resting, to do a walk, yoga, swim. Take a progress picture at the start of the program and a progress picture at the end. I'll challenge you, pause this video right now. If you're serious about this, go to the mirror right now, take a picture of yourself. Because in 30 days, if you're not doing exercise at the moment and you follow this for the next 30 days, you're going to look very, very different. Even if it's just walking, even if it's just yoga, you've got to get in the habit of exercising. If you need programs, if you need an accountability partner, if you want to do this with a group of people, check out my course in the link below on boosting your testosterone. Get full workout programs, my nutrition, all that sort of stuff. So it works hand in hand. If you want to do it, if you want to get something for free off the internet, go and do that instead. If you want it from the gorilla himself, it's in the link description. Third rule, sit quietly for 5 minutes alone and think about the man that you want to be. If your life is very busy and you spend it constantly engaged in activity, then you will not have time to think and plan the person that you want to become, and therefore you will never become him. So this is your challenge right now. Pause this video and write down on a piece of paper or in your phone notes, what type of man do you want to become? His characteristics, his hairstyle, what does he wear? What's his clothing? What's his job? What are his morals, his abilities? Is he strong? Is he able to fight? What does he look like? And you plan out this masculine character. Who would you like to be if you could be anybody at all? Then on these 5 minutes daily, you sit quietly with no distractions, phone away, no music, no nothing. You sit quietly with your eyes closed and you think about being that man. You imagine his characteristics, his day-to-day life. That will empower you and you will slowly start to become him. You will understand the path to where you want to go because you can already imagine what you need to do. You just don't do it. You can imagine what it's like to be a high-level man, to be a man at the top of his game. You know exactly what he does every day. You just need to think about it, envision yourself in that space. There's no reason that can't be you. So 5 minutes a day. Power comes from solitude and silence. Welcome them both daily. 5 minutes.
When you buy 10 tickets on...
The power list. I want this 30 days to be productive for you. I want you to get shit done. I don't want this to be just self-improvement. Let's actually push you forwards in life. In 30 days, you can change everything if you have the right momentum and that you do the right tasks. So every evening before you go to bed, write down 3 essential tasks for the following day. Every day those tasks must be done. It's called a power list. It'll make you more productive. At the end of 30 days, you've done 90 essential tasks. It'll rocket the growth in the area that you choose to focus on. Don't include these daily rules. So the exercise, the reading the pages, that's not part of it. That's already a given. These are 3 additional things you have to do daily. So it could be small things, it could be big things. It could be do 20 minutes writing my book, write a project for school, 20 cold outreach messages, 20 sales calls, anything like that. It could be clean the whole house, organise my stuff, clean the car, anything. But make sure you're doing 3 essential tasks for the day. Think about what is the best thing you could do the following day. Those 3 things are your essential tasks. Think, what's the thing that will push me forwards most? Focus on those 3 things daily. The final rule, no alcohol, no fast food, no drugs. All right? The crack pipe down, Johnny. No drugs in here. Not anymore, and not for at least 30 days. I'd recommend you don't do drugs at all. But 30 days, let's start with that. This will prove you really have discipline. If you're sitting there saying to yourself right now, I could quit if I want to, but I don't want to. Yeah, I like it, I enjoy it. This includes smoking as well. No nicotine, no smoking, no vapes. Get rid of the vapes. Vapes are seed oils. You know how bad seed oils are for testosterone? The heated up seed oils that you breathe into your lungs. Stop using your vapes, stop using your cigarettes, and be good for 30 days. It's only 30 days. You can have those things back if you want them back. If you can't drop those things for 30 days, you are addicted, and it's even more of a reason why you need to. The main ones are the drugs and the alcohol, though, because you need that mental clarity. If you are regularly drinking, even if it's just once a week, you're going out for pints with the boys, it is upsetting your mindset, your mental frame. You will understand, once you've quit alcohol and drugs, how much more productive you will be when you don't do those things anymore. It takes a lot of effort to do things when you're hungover. So get rid of that, you'll get all your energy back, and it will help propel you. Fast food, what do I mean by that? No sweets, no chocolates, no crisps, no KFC, McDonald's, any of that stuff. I want you eating clean, boys. I want you to have rice, chicken, eggs, steak. You can still have steak. You can have steak and diced sweet potato and broccoli. What more do you need? You can have some sauce on there. I don't mind. You don't go too crazy with the sauce. But if you want sauce, you can have sauce, all right? But don't go having any fast food. And that is the 5th and final rule. So, if you're ready and you want to challenge yourself, then I've linked a daily tracker for Notion with all these rules written out in the description below. I want you to go click on it, and I want you to get started. I want you to take your picture. I want you to write down your power list for tomorrow morning. I want you to plan out what exercise you're going to do. I want you to get rid of the alcohol, the drugs, put it away, lock it away. I want you to lock away the fast food, the chocolates. And when you're ready, when you've done that first thing, tag me on Instagram when you start, @JackpotFitness, #Gorilla Challenge. I want you to tag me on Instagram, show me your power list for the next day, and show me that you're doing the challenge, if you dare. And let's see who lasts till the 30 days. Let's see who can actually do it. Because, boys, I promise you, if you make it through 30 days of doing this, being consistent, it's going to revolutionise the way your mind works, and you're going to start to be able to believe in yourself and get the things done that you want to do in your life. So, there's no time to waste. Go out there and show them who's boss. And I'll see you on the next one. Whoppa! Whoppa! Ah! Whoppa!
All right. He had a lot of energy. But, yeah, so apparently he is the CEO of testosterone. All right. So he talked about how discipline is freedom, and he broke down a realistic and attainable way to create discipline. And for 30 days, y'all, for a month, you can change your life within 3 weeks. It takes 21 days to form habits, and it can take 21 days to break a habit, right? So he's asking for 30 days, for 1 month, and he defined discipline as ability to control yourself, right? If you lack control, then you lack discipline. And you can be disciplined in one area of your life, and in another area, you're horrible, right? We want to be disciplined in every area of our life, okay? When you mess up, go back to day one, right? Like I was saying earlier, you might be on a regimen, something happens and messes you up, get right back on, right? Start over again. It's okay. Things will happen. That is life, as is life, right? It is going to happen. Keep up with it and keep going, because quitting is easy. Not giving up is the hard part, and we want the good hard, right? It's a bad heart and it's a good heart. We want the good heart. So for 30 days, read 10 pages of a self-development book. Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins was a book that was recommended. It's another book number 2, right? A lot of people read books, including myself. Get on that if you're not. You will learn so much by reading things with substance, not just anything, things with substance, right? Exercise for 30 minutes daily. Have an accountability partner. So if you don't think that you could do it on your own, link up with somebody that will help you throughout that process, who will actually get on you and check on you and make sure that you are doing what you say you're going to do, right? To check in with you. They might be annoying to you, but they're good for you, because if you're left to your own vices, you won't stick with it. You're not going to stick with it, especially if you know yourself and you know that you need somebody to be on you. Give them some grace too, because it takes a lot to continue to be on somebody that don't want you near them during that time, even though they ask, right? People can be a little funny with their feelings sometimes. Like when you want somebody to hold you accountable, and when they hold you accountable, you mad at them for holding you accountable when you're the one that asked them to hold you accountable. But you need that, right? That helps with discipline. That helps so that you can stay in line, right? So be honest with yourself, be honest with them, so that you can start and maintain that discipline. All right. To sit in quietness for 5 minutes, right? So if you got a lot going on, take some time to meditate. Take some time to sit in solitude and silence. It's definitely necessary so that your brain can process and regroup and refocus after being jam-packed with so much stuff going on in a day, right? So give yourself that time. I suggest 15 minutes a day, because it's 24 hours in a day. We all can spare 15 minutes, right? But if you can't do 15 minutes, at least 5. Think about the person that you want to be and write that down when it comes to your characteristics, your the job you want, the career you want, the business you want, the abilities that you want, the body that you want, so on and so forth. And envision that, and embrace it, visualize it, envision it, and imagine it until it actually becomes something that you can see, right? Don't just want it and then you can't really see it for yourself, because 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be something that you feel like you can attain, because you can't see yourself doing it or being that. So once you envision it over and over and over and over again, then you can actually walk in that. Okay? There is power that comes from having that solitude, having that silence. So make sure you incorporate that throughout your day. There's a lot of times throughout my day I am busy. I have a lot of things on my plate right now. However, I do make time to be silent, right? If I wasn't doing this live, I would be sitting somewhere, probably reading or doing something without any noise attached to it, because I need to unwind in some type of way, and having more noise does not help me unwind, right? So keep that in mind. Just look at your schedule, write out what you do, write out the times that you can actually sit in silence and really think about your life and what it is you want to change, how you want to get better. Make a power list, 3 things that you should accomplish for the next day, and make sure that you do all 3 things the next day, right? That's how you hold yourself accountable, because can't nobody hold you accountable without you holding yourself accountable first. Can't put that on somebody else. You got to take responsibility too, right? And get rid of the things, all the junk, all the negativity, drugs, alcohol, whatever vices that you have, that you go to, that could be hindering your process and your progress. Get rid of those things for the sake of clarity, so that you can perform better and actually be healthier and live better, right? Okay, so we are going to listen to our next clip, and then we are going to listen to our extra clip just for like the first minute. But all of these videos will be linked to the caption once this live is saved. All right, so if you want to go back and listen to it on your own time, if you missed it or missed part of it, it'll be there for you. All right, so we are going to hear from David Goggins. We were talking about him earlier. We're going to hear from him now on the problem of discipline. Okay. I hope y'all getting something from this today, y'all. I hope y'all are.
In the industrial complex of like life advice, motivational speaking, self-help, there's a lot of theory crafting and analysis. At the root, you actually do just need to like switch on the Giga Chad and just do the David Goggins thing.
And a tone of voice I put on tape. Sound like a straight bitch when I listen to that motherfucker.
I don't think at the root you do. I think at the margin you do. So I think this is where I personally disagree with David Goggins. Sorry, David, if you're listening to this, I love you, man.
They don't know me, son.
I think that the narrative of you gotta kind of put yourself through pressure and become a diamond on the other side, and like discipline and all that kind of stuff. I think that is actually broadly unsustainable for most people, and is not generally, I think, a fun way to live life. Like Muhammad Ali has this famous phrase of like, I hated every minute of training, but I did it because it was worth it 10 years later to become a champion.
Yeah.
It's like, was it really? Like,
Right.
I don't know about it. I think most people, if you ask them, would you like to suffer for every day for 10 years and then you'll be a champion at the end of it, they'll probably be like, I'm not knocking discipline. I think it's important, but I think it is more sustainable and more enjoyable to use discipline in small doses when necessary.
Yeah.
Rather than to have it as like the core.
Yeah.
Whereas for Goggins, it's like the core.
You shouldn't have to like force yourself to do like all the things you're doing. But there are definitely like a bunch of moments where like you just need to switch on the Giga Chad.
Who's gonna carry the boats and the logs?
Stop being a little bitch.
Who's one more to carry the boats?
And do the next step of something.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
I agree. I think there are lots of things that you can do before you get to the point where you have to force yourself. But there always comes a point where you have to put in a bit of activation energy to get started. Let's say someone wakes up and is like, okay, I'm going to go for a run today or whatever. The kind of, I think, over-indexing on the Goggins method is like, right, okay, I'm a little bitch. I'm just gonna stop being a little bitch and I'm just gonna go for a run.
I'm back, motherfucker!
Alternatively, what you could do is you could be like, this thing, going for a run, why does it feel so like aversive to me? Let me actually figure out what's going on here. Like, okay, well, firstly, I actually don't know where I'm going to go for a run, so I have some level of uncertainty, and uncertainty leads to procrastination. Secondly, I do have actually a little bit of anxiety because I'm like out of shape and like overweight and stuff, and I'm a bit concerned people are going to be like, okay, that's interesting. And then, I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I can't like solve the anxiety and stuff overnight, but I can definitely make a plan. Okay, cool. And now all of a sudden, like, the going for a run, it's no longer like an enormous burst of discipline or motivation, willpower that you need to make it happen. Just like a small amount, because you've done the setup work, you've done the prep work.
Yeah.
And the prep work is a lot easier to do.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So
I'm on board with that.
I'm all about discipline, but I think it's a unsustainable strategy when relied upon, and should be used as like in small doses to get over small hurdles.
Yeah.
And systemic things like actually enjoying the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Finding a way to make running fun will be 98% of the problem for the vast majority of people.
Yeah.
Because I think most people don't want to be suffering.
Yeah.
In their day-to-day life.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a toy?
All right, that was a little jokey joke. It was a little funny, based off of others' perspective. Now, everybody doesn't think being extreme. Like I said, David Goggins, he is extreme. A lot of people would not have done what he did to get to where he is, but it worked for him, and that's the whole point of it, right? So the issue with that. So you said, I think that's the point, actually, because a lot of us talk down on our own willpower to remain stagnant. That's true. Some of us, we put a cap on our abilities because we don't think that we can do it, or we give ourselves leeway to remain stagnant. Like you said, like when someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna look into it," or "I'm gonna try," or I might get on that, or I'm gonna see what I can do. It's kind of telling your brain to be like, we ain't gonna do that. Or say, I'm gonna try. And you don't really want to do it, because when you say you're going to do something, you don't say, I'm going to try and do it. You're just going to do it, right? So saying that, oh, this is hard. Everything's hard. Life is hard, right? Like we talked about earlier, life is hard. Life is difficult, but you choose your hard. You either choose to be lazy or you choose to be disciplined. You either choose to reap that reward or you choose to be in regret because you weren't disciplined enough to get to that other side. So, he said that the problem with discipline, basically putting yourself through pressure, life is about pressure. So you're going to feel some type of pressure whenever you go through anything, whatever path you decide to take, you're going to put some pressure on, right? But what they were talking about was using discipline in small doses when necessary, and that those small doses will get over small hurdles. Right now, it all depends on the level that you're on, because the level of discipline that somebody like David Goggins has, or Jesse Itzler, or Michael Phelps, or people who are the elites, right? They're on a whole nother level of discipline. So their discipline among the people that are disciplined like them, it seems normal. For somebody that's not on that level, it might be like, yo, you crazy. I'm not running 300 miles. You crazy. You know, for somebody that is a swimmer, I'm not swimming for, for 3 days. Like, I'm not biking for 50 miles. Like, but it all depends on the level that you're on. For some people, based on their purpose, their level of discipline has to be even more because of what they are doing and the responsibility that they have. So it all depends. So I think for some people, having discipline in small doses works for them so that they can get over small things. But I do believe that we should all be challenging ourselves in different ways so that we could be more disciplined in every area of our life, regardless of what level of discipline or what area, what purpose that we have. I think we all should be challenging ourselves, making ourselves uncomfortable, doing something outside of that comfort zone every day so that we can get better and better and better. Because if we are doing the same thing every day and we're not challenging ourselves, we're not growing, we're not getting better. If we start off at the gym with 5-pound weights and we're still at 5-pound weights, your muscles are not growing, right? Or if you're doing a leg press and you start at 20 pounds and you still at 20 pounds, what are you doing? You don't want to feel the pain, but pain is what makes you grow. So embrace the pain of discipline because it's going to help you. All right. So we are going to listen to literally 1 minute of this extra clip from Lucy talking about how to be disciplined. And then we're going to wrap it up. We're going to do a recap, and then we're going to close it out, y'all. And I appreciate y'all for staying on, for rocking out with me, talking about the difficulty of discipline. And I want y'all to express, and I will as well, how difficult discipline has been in your life and what you are doing to make it a little bit better, to live life a little bit better, How is it helping you? How is that pain of discipline helping you? All right, so, check her out.
I'm just like, God, am I a plantain? Am I a potato? God, I'm a chewing gum. You didn't tell me. Are you disciplined? Do you want to get disciplined? Do you want to organize your life? Start today, okay? Start today. So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hey girl, my name is Lucy. I always say to stay subscribed. We have a good time on this channel. Now, to listen by the title, today's video is going to be how to be disciplined in your 20s. And quite frankly, this is not just for those of you in your 20s, it's also for anyone in their 30s and even older. Like, if you just want to learn or you want to hear something new about how to be disciplined in your life, this is the video for you. Now, let's just jump right into the video, because you guys know when I start talking, I don't stop, okay? Why do we need to be disciplined? Discipline gives you a better quality of life. Discipline allows you to set goals, to have boundaries, to be able to have a much more organized and structured life. I always preach discipline on my channel. Like, I say it in almost every video that as human beings, we need discipline in our lives. And this is not just on a particular aspect, but all aspects of life, from relationship, family, career, friendships. You need discipline. You need to be able to understand that you're responsible for your actions. You need to be able to understand that you drive your life. You direct your life. Wherever you want it to go, you push it. And wherever you push it to is where it will go. Now, I'm going to run into a couple tips.
All right, y'all. I'm going to leave it right there. I told you literally 1 minute. 1 minute. But she dropped some gems. I'm going to put that extra clip in the comment segment of the live once it's posted. But one thing she said is that discipline gives you a better quality of life, which is true. So just to recap, everybody that we listened to today, Lynette talked about separating from the things that no longer serve you, how you can change your reality, making it into actionable steps, creating a timeline, making those small changes, if it's daily change, weekly change, monthly change, yearly change, but breaking it up so that it seems attainable and not too far, too much, and too overwhelming. Discipline is self-love, doing the things you love, doing things because you love yourself, and wanting the best for yourself because you love yourself. And so when you want the best for yourself, you'll be disciplined in different areas so that you can get the best out of life because you want the best for you, right? Remembering to enjoy the journey, how it won't be overnight, to focus on making small changes, building a system, inventorying your habits and your systems, prioritizing your needs over your wants, breaking down your goals so that they are attainable, separating them by category, and listening to your spirit in the midst of all of that to know whether or not it was the right decision to make. Also, we had Marcus, who sounds a lot like Eric Thomas, E.T. He sounds a lot like him, but he broke it down. It was very inspirational. I would suggest y'all re-watch that part if y'all don't want to watch the whole thing, because everybody was good, honestly, but that one really had a lot of enthusiasm in it. So I would suggest that y'all look over that part or go to the YouTube link that I'll put in the comment part. But he talked about how everything is hard. Life is hard. And choosing your hard, right? It's hard to have daily discipline. It's hard to be broke. It's hard to be wealthy. It's hard to practice perseverance or compassion or setting goals or being normal, being lazy. All of these things are hard, but there's a reward for certain hards if you are enduring and if you are consistent, right? The pain of regret hurts. Will you step into your potential, right? Pain is inevitable and unavoidable, and no path is without pain. So give it everything that you got. Make a decision on what kind of hard life you want. You want a hard life that's you're going to be miserable with, that's going to be full of regret, or you're going to want a hard life that's going to end in reward, right? And hard can look different to anybody. A hard, disciplined life looks different based on who you ask and who you talk to. But that's up to you to decide what kind of life that you want. Getting acquainted with pain will help you to get acquainted with hardship. And once you're acquainted with them, when you go through something and get through it, you go through something else, you'll have a better idea of how to handle it for the next time, right? Pick your pain. Processing pain is a skill set. And remember to keep going and keep holding on, because pain has an expiration date. It will not last forever. Once you get to the other side of pain, there will be ease after that difficulty. So when you remember that, it'll be a little bit long. It'll be a little bit better. It's like when you have to mentally tell yourself, all right, one more set in the gym, or one more rep, 5 more reps, last set, or however you psych yourself out when you're doing something that's difficult and you want to keep going, So for me personally, when I was running, I was doing 2 miles, and once I got to, let's say that first lap, I'm like, all right, okay, first lap down. Then I got to halfway down 1 mile. Then I got to the 1 mile. I'm like, all right, I'm halfway there, And so it's just like, once I kept encouraging myself and letting myself know, listen, all right, I just did it. All right, I can keep going. There were times where I was like, oh, I'm tired. Had them thoughts like, you can stop. Just walk. You don't got to finish. But I'm like, no, I only got a little bit left. All right, I got 5 minutes left. All right, I got 3 minutes left. All right, I'm going to push this last minute, But once you start talking to yourself that way and you like, oh, no, we ain't giving up, that's too easy. Because once you stop, then it's like, dang, I could have kept going, So get into the mindset of telling yourself what you're going to do, because your body will listen to you. your body will listen to what you say. So make sure what you're saying to yourself is what you want to happen, right? If you want to give up, then that's how you're going to talk to yourself. But if you don't, listen, I don't care how you feel right now. Them feelings are going to change. That pain is going to last just for a little bit. We almost done. One more. And if you got to tell yourself one more 15 times to get to that last one, then do that, right? So pain that hurts you is pain that changes you, all right? And discipline is freedom. Get a realistic idea of what you want to do for 30 days to become more disciplined in whatever area that you're trying to be more disciplined in. If that's every area, then make it for every area. Make it so that it covers all across the board. So discipline is having the ability to control yourself. So if you mess up, go back to day one. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself right. Okay? So reading 10 pages of a self-development book of your choosing. Awakening the Giant Within by Tony Robbins was a book that was recommended. Also, Atomic Habits was another book that was recommended if y'all are interested. And an app called Arrived that helps with if you want to do some investing. So that could be a way for you to be more disciplined with money, a way for you to be more disciplined with reading, a way for you to be more disciplined with getting off of social media or getting off of gadgets and electronics and being more personable. Those are options too. He also said, exercising 30 minutes a day. Have an accountability partner, right? So if you're somebody that can get off track really fast and you need somebody to be on you and stay on you, first you have to be accountable to yourself before you can be accountable to somebody else. Don't put that all on them, because it's not all on them. You have a responsibility to yourself first, right? But having an accountability partner definitely helps, because somebody will be there to make sure that you are staying on track. Even if you say, yeah, I'm going to do this, that, and the third, they're going to be like, did you do this, that, and the third? Or are you playing around? So having an accountability partner definitely helps. Being in silence for 5 minutes. There's power in solitude and silence. So make sure you do it at least 5 minutes. I say 15, but if you don't have 15 minutes, which I believe we all do, but if you don't have 15 minutes, you could do 3 sets of 5 minutes at different increments of your day. But just make time for the quiet, okay? Then also, think about the person you want to be. Write it down, from the characteristics to, the type of job, type of career, type of business, type of body, type of personality, whatever you want. Write it down, envision it, see it. Once you see it, start to live it, right? Make it happen. And have a power list. 3 things that you want to accomplish for the next day, and then next day make all of them happen. No excuses, right? But be diligent, be consistent, and be serious about what you want and how you want to live. Like if you want to be more disciplined, make it happen to be more disciplined, okay? And getting rid of all the toxicity, all the negativity, all the things that don't serve you, like drugs, alcohol, fast foods. For some people, sex. For some people, watching different things that don't serve them. For some people, listening to certain things. Like whatever that vice is for you, give it up for 30 days and see how it changes you. All right. And then also, for some people, having discipline in small doses to help overcome small hurdles. That works for you. That works for you. But do what works for you, knowing that discipline gives a better quality of life. So if you want to have a better quality of life, be more disciplined. Okay. So, thank y'all so much for all of your input, for sticking around, and for sharing your thoughts on the topic. We definitely appreciate you over here. It is definitely difficult to be disciplined, but it's necessary, and it's something that we all need to be better at what we do, right? Just a few announcements. Showcase Your Talent show is in 2 days, y'all. On Wednesday, the 28th. From 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. It is a packed house, so there are no more spots left. But if you want to sign up for next month, there are contestant spots. If you want to win that grand prize, there are feature spots. If you just want to showcase your art, there are sponsor spots. If you have a product, service, or business that you would like to share during the show, and we have an open mic for those who want to share and don't want to be a part of the competition, that is fine too. And of course, the viewers, we wouldn't be here without you. You are always welcome. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, the Zoom details will drop so that you can tune in. All right, I definitely will, sis. We have Meeting of the Minds Mondays, one Monday a month, where we pose a topic, and it can be anything from art to business itself to everywhere in between. If you have any topics that you want to see here that we have not discussed yet, go back and check our series to see if there's anything on there that we've discussed that you haven't heard on here yet, and connect with us, right? If you want to host the Meeting of the Minds, connect with us so that we can add that topic on the list and you on the queue, because we are here to serve you. We have our Q&A Wednesday coming up Wednesday as well. Wednesday's a packed out day, y'all, but we got it coming up. And our topic and our question is, what's the difference between a vision and a dream? Definitely stay tuned for that. It's a good question. But Wednesdays is when our Q&A Wednesdays come, is one Wednesday of the month when we pose a question to kind of gauge you, to see how you are, to get to know you a little bit better, more than just being artists. That's also your time to access anything. You can access ahead of time. You can email us your questions ahead of time, and we'll add it, and we'll discuss that first before we go into anything else. You can also add your questions here in the comment or question box, and we'll answer it during that time as well. If you want to host or pose the question of the month, definitely connect with us so that we can connect with you on that. We have Freestyle Fridays in different segments. We have open mic every Friday. We have Battle Art second Fridays, where artists battle it out against each other. The viewers vote, and whoever has the most votes wins, and also picks the next month's theme. We are still on Hero versus Villain, but next month we are finishing that one out, and we are going to find our winner, the one who had the most support, the most vibes, the most loves, the most voters. They're gonna leave with some coins, and they're gonna pick next month's theme after July, right? So stay tuned for that. We have our Art of War, Art Awareness Fundraiser, third Fridays, where we raise awareness for the beauty, necessity, and uniqueness of art, as well as raise funds so that we can come to a place near you to go from virtual to in-person concerts. You know, it's definitely beautiful to be able to see how art looks and feels and sounds based on where we're from, the culture, the background, and being able to do that in person would be dope. So we are raising money for that. You don't have to wait for third Fridays to donate. You can donate at any time. You can go to our website, click the link in our bio, DM, email us, however you need to get in touch with us. You can definitely do that. We also have an option for you to sponsor an Artrepreneur. So if there's somebody that came on here that you want to bless and you don't have their information, you can give it to us and we'll get it right to them. So that's also an option for you as well. We have our fourth Fridays is our feature Fridays, where we sponsor and spotlight an entrepreneur doing their thing in the community. We give them their roses and their flowers while they are here. All right, and it's something that's very important to do. We have our podcast, Intellect's a Place for Entrepreneurs, in season 3. Our latest episode just dropped yesterday. Make sure to tune in on YouTube, as well as Spotify, Anchor, Apple, and all the other platforms that it's streaming on if you want to take a listen. It's not just audio, it is visual. If you are interested in being a feature, definitely connect with us so that we can add you either to this season or next season, whichever is your choice. We have our art and business seminars that's been out. Definitely check out the previous ones. If you are interested in being a feature for one of the next ones, definitely connect with us. We have books, merch, member fees. We have voiceover options. We have so many different things going on. We have our online store up and running. Definitely check that out if you are interested in supporting us in any way. But to stay up to date on all things intellects, definitely subscribe to our email list. It is free $99, and our YouTube channel, where all our content goes. Well, it has been a pleasure. I'm Intellects, founder and CEO of Intellects Artrepreneur Agency, the Indie for Artists. We connect you with so much, from resources to experts to networks and platforms, to promote you so that you can be the best you that you could be in your unique artistry, and we do that to the best of our ability. I want you to remember that you are uniquely designed and one of a kind, so don't let anybody stop your shine. Nobody could be you but you, so make sure you are uniquely, beautifully, and artistically you, that you do you, live you, love you, and crush it too. All right. To all of our newbies, to our OGs, to the team that's with me, I appreciate each and every single one of you for all that you do to pour back into us so that we can pour right back into you. Well, until next time, thank you so much for tuning into our Meeting of the Minds for this month. Until next time, I hope you have a great night and an awesome and amazing, productive, positive, and peaceful week.